Good time zone, friends. This is Druidsfire, and I've got the latest hotness from Dungeons and Dragons Online. The producer letter from Amanda Grow, aka Tolero, the senior producer for DDO. And we're going to get right into it because there's a lot to talk about. We're going to put the link to this website down in the comments below so you can check it out for yourself. Play the home game. All right, so she talks about, firstly, where we've been with last year's expansion of the Chill of Ravenloft taking us to the Lamortia Dread Domain. And also, she mentioned one of the big hot topic items for most of the past year, and that is lag. It has been a problem, and with these two graphs, you can kind of see. I apologize for those who are who may be red-green colorblind. There's a lot of red in the upper image, and not much at all in the lower image. And if red equals lag, they have hammered a lot of it out of the park here. So a lot of lag spikes in the past, and a lot of the engineering work they've done since then have reduced most of it. So that's actually really, really good, because the game was very difficult to play during this process before they were able to institute a lot of fixes for this problem. She also mentions the introduction of the 64-bit game worlds, including the one in Europe. Moonsea has been happily playing DDO, and it's great for the folks in the EU and other parts of the the Eastern Hemisphere to be able to play in a server that's more local to them. And lower ping times and better latency, good all around. All right. One thing that's not mentioned here that I notice is that there's no mention about the 64-bit to 64-bit transfers that we have been waiting on since August. So I'll be curious to know where that lands in the process. She also mentions the Symphony of the Fae event, which is concluding tonight with the downtime tomorrow morning on the 4th of February. And so if you're doing a loot, get it done tonight. That being said, let's move on to the goodness. The new hotness, the anniversary is coming up. 2026 is the 20th anniversary, and as you can see from the image, they are going all out. So, as they said, they're going to go all out with gifts and things to do. This represents the new public area, which will contain all new activities and gifts, including a memento cosmetic cloak. There better be a D20 on it. A newer version of the Raiders reward box, so we'll need to compare the current ones with the newer ones to see if there's any intriguing substitutions. A Ginny Discovery boost, which I'll be curious to see if it stacks with the one from last year or overwrites it, because I still have some characters that still have that old one that I haven't played, because I have, they didn't come up in the anyhow. And a new way to get fabulous in-game rewards throughout the 20th anniversary year. So it sounds like this is gonna, honestly, it sounds like what they're going to do is keep this other area open all the time so people can do this all year long. So that sounds pretty cool. We're going to get more details about that in the coming weeks. Well, they only have a couple weeks left. Next up, the new archetype was coming out. We were originally told that it was probably gonna, they were kind of hinting that it might be a barbarian one, but it's not. It's a rogue one, the Arcane Trickster, which was a prestige class in 3.5 and also rolled into 5e. And so there's already folks talking about this in the official DDO Discord, and there's some hype. People are excited about this. It will be free to VIPs and available in the store, as is kind of usual for the for these sort of archetypes. But for the first month of its release, anybody who logs in during the anniversary can get it for free. That's hot. So that is pretty cool, and it is supposed to hit Lamania soon. Speaking of Lamania, Cordovan did seem to indicate Lamania is going to be opening later today, Tuesday the 3rd of February. So we're going to have to check that out later. Back to the anniversary. So we are going to get the OG anniversary stuff in Party Crashers. Yes, I do have the game up in the background. So we are going to get the old Party Crashers stuff, the revamped Party Crashers, with the, smiting of the devs and then smiting of Jeets. But this new space looks pretty cool. Korkaza, the Blue Dracolich. is going to, I guess, send us through time to battle iconic bosses from the game's history. So this is going to be your blast from the past, visiting old things. One thing I do like, though, is she mentions that there's something suspiciously different about the fights. I like the fact that mechanics aren't going to be the same. That way, new players will be on the same footing as veteran players. That sounds pretty good. I like that. It'll have its own rewards and can be played by characters of any level, which also good. So it sounds like the bosses will scale, and we'll be curious to see if they can be properly soloed, or if you're going to have to run with hires or other players. What? So after the anniversary, new quest pack coming in the spring, a draconic storyline about the deck of many things, and a new year VIP loyalty rewards. I'm all about that. I think they can spruce up some of the rewards. Some of them are... One of the things about the loyalty reward program is some of the rewards are more useful than others, depending on your playstyle, what you already have, what you don't already have. It is what it is. As usual, the 12th month will get a new mount, and this one, they're mentioning a very different kind of mount that harkens back to a classic and uniquely DDO quest, a memorable Zoriat moment, so we'll see. So, I'm thinking maybe a Beholder? Maybe a Hellhound? What's uniquely Zoriat? Or a memorable Zoriat moment? Honestly, a Beholder mount would be hot, because they could just use the player animations from riding the storm cloud or riding the carpet. The animation's already there. That would be cool. Personally, I want a blue dragon mount. Just give me a blue dragon mount somewhere. I don't care. But that's not specifically Zoriat. However, it would go with the draconic interest. Okay, the expansion. They actually tell us what the expansion is going to be based on. Out of the Abyss, particularly the latter half, as you tackle the demon lords escaping the Underdark. Players will go up against the Demogorgon. Oh goodness, that's going to be hot. Other iconic D&D creatures will also make an inaugural appearance along with the player character race of the Joker. Hold on. What other D&D creatures are we talking about? Iconic ones? What do you mean by iconic? Which ones haven't been in D&D before or DDO before? That's a very long list. I want to see what you think they're going to bring out to DDO later this year. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you speculate that they're going to bring in. But now, what we know they're bringing in, the new player character race, the Durgar, dwarves found in the Underdark. They were not our friends when we met them in the Underdark. But now we get to be them. That'll be fun. I know some folks are really hoping for Kobold, but apparently Kobold still hates us. So we're not getting Kobold. But Durgar is going to be really awesome because they're not going to be elves. I love elves, but I understand elf fatigue in the player base. I've heard those complaints. Yep. So the question is, what is their base class? Well, obviously the race is going to be the race. What do you think their iconic is going to be? Again, comments below. I want to know what you think. Next expansion brings the game level cap to 36. That was actually expected. They've been saying every 2 years they're going to bring up the level cap. So the level cap will go up again, presumably in 2028 to level 38. And then in 2030, it'll go up to 40. Theoretically. Okay, and here's our actual roadmap. So quarter one, remember what quarters are. Quarter one, January, February, March. Quarter two, April, May, June. Quarter three, July, August, September. Quarter four, October, November, December. Yes, January's already gone. We deal with it. So, 20th anniversary kickoff. Free anniversary gifts. I say autos for everybody. I want autos for everybody. Where we're going to get autos for everybody, I don't know. That'd be nice, though. Okay, the Arcane Trickster release. Free for 1 month during the anniversary. Grab it while you can. New Raiders reward box. New anniversary dungeon. And more. I'm a little bit curious about this new year-long remnant exchange mechanic. Which remnants? Are they just mysterious remnants? Are they more things on the mysterious remnant vendor? Are they different kind of remnants? What are we talking about here? And also the PAX East player meetup that's probably going to be on March 20th. Mainly because PAX is the weekend of the 19th through the 22nd. And Cordovan had mentioned either on one of his streams or in one of the two Discords for either game that they were eyeballing that Friday for their meetup. And that's PAX East weekend. Alright, new quest pack set in Zendrick with the dragon-themed deck of many things themed. The quest pack is going to be CR10 Heroic, 36 Legendary, and as I mentioned, the VIP Lore Retailer Rewards track. After that, the summer expansion. What do you think its title's going to be? It's going to be based on Out of the Abyss. So we had the Chill of Ravenloft talked about Lemortia. I don't think they're going to use the phrase Out of the Abyss. I don't know. I don't know. The Demogorgon encounter. Oh my god. I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be so lit. A playable race again. I want to know what you think the iconic will be. What class the iconic will be, that is. Level cap increase. The Gen Con player meetup will be the weekend of July 30th through August 1st. It's the last weekend of July. And if they have their player meetup on that Friday, we can all wish Cordo a happy birthday. If it's probably on Saturday, then we can't. But Gen Con was fun last year. I look forward to it again this upcoming year. We found out a couple of things from Severlin and Tolero. And I would expect for both the PAX East and the Gen Con player meetups, because this is the 20th year of DDO, they're probably going to have a larger dev presence than usual. Especially the PAX East one, because that's in their backyard, practically. They just drive downtown to Boston. Then again, driving downtown to Boston has its own hazards. Go park at the Alewife station, take the red line in. That's what I did. And then finally in quarter 4, a new hardcore-like live event. So basically the third iteration of Lantern event, Fae event, and what's the next one going to be? We don't know. I'm hoping they take some lessons from the Fae event. I wonder what's going to happen to the stuff from the Fae event, how they're going to adjust it when they do the next game update, question mark? Don't know. But speaking of updates, the Drow visual update, I saw that and I'm like, ooh. The main character that I've been doing most of my stuff in the Fae event has been a Drow. A Drow Dark Hunter Inquisitive, who's still alive. And she's still got some work to do tonight. However, the Drow will get a visual update. I'm looking forward to that. Also, in the fall, they mentioned the similar to the Symphony of the Fae, including a hardcore version. So basically the same overall structure. There's going to be probably a soft core version where you just go play on whatever character, and then the hardcore, which you have to start at level 1 or take an iconic and just not take their levels. But a different Dreadlord trying to escape its Ravenloft dread of Domain of Dread. So here's my question to you. Again, comments below. Which one do you think it is? Which domain is it? Which Dreadlord do you think is trying to escape? Could it be Adam trying to escape Lemortia? That seems kind of not really. I don't think that would be it, because the Lanterns event were kind of leading in that direction. So it's maybe something dragon related. I don't know. I would like to hear your thoughts. And again, the Drow visual updates, including new hairstyles and new character creation options. And players can expect this kind of refresh to happen to the older playable races in the coming years. So who's going to be next after the Drow? I do like this old concept art for the game from 2005. And here's some Tolero memories, and she's talking about some of her favorite quests. I have questions, Tolero. I have many questions about some of these. Seriously? Needle in a Haystack? I mean, it's cute, it's fun, it's also very infuriating sometimes. I do love White Plume Mountain when I'm playing on a trapper. Invitation to dinner. Okay. It's actually a very iconic quest. I'm never going to learn the layout of Castle Ravenloft. But I actually enjoy the quest. I love the voice acting. Keith Silverstein is Throd. Oh my god, he's so good at it. But I would say she's asking for people to tell them what are your memories of DDO for the past 20 years. When did you start playing? What are your favorite quests? Any good times you had with your guild, with your family? I'd say drop them in the comments below. Why not? Drop them in the DDO Discord, which you can find by going to DDO.com and looking for or just go discord.gg/officialddo. You can find them there. And you can find me there, Druidsfire. If you like this kind of content, you can drop a like on this particular video. If you like my content in general, drop a subscribe on the channel. It costs you nothing. And I can put more videos out there for you to see. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Peace.